Good morning, students. Welcome you all once again. In our previous video, we were discussing about the chapter Lost Spring, Memories of Stolen Childhood. As the story of Mukesh was continued and the writer was giving description about the streets in Firozabad. When the writer met an old woman who was engaged in making bangles with her granddaughter, who does not know the auspiciousness of bangles. When the writer had a conversation with the old woman, she says, एक वक्त शेर भर खाना भी नहीं खाया, she says in a voice drained of joy. She has not enjoyed even one full meal in her entire lifetime. That's what she has reaped. Her husband, an old man with a flowing beard, says, I know nothing except bangles. All I have done is make a house for the family to live in. The student share means here a unit of measuring quantity, and reaped is received as a benefit. When the writer started conversation with the old woman, then she says or she complained that she had not eaten even a meal that is sufficient or that is enough for one day. There is a unit of measuring quantity, I have already told you. The woman wants to say that they are so poor that they cannot eat enough food. That is the benefit that she has received by adopting the profession of bangle making. The woman's husband has a flowing beard or a long beard. He says that he does not know anything other than bangle making. All that he has been able to accomplish is to make a house for his family in which they are living. Hearing him, one wonders if he has achieved what many have failed in their lifetime. He has a roof over his head. Now the writer is surprised, or she wonders that probably the old man has achieved something which many other people have not been able to achieve. At least he has been able to secure a shelter for his family. The cry of not having money to do anything except carry on the business of making bangles, not even enough to eat, rings in every home. The young men echo the lament of their elders. Little has moved with time, it seems, in Firozabad. Years of mind-numbing toil have killed all initiative and the ability to dream. Students, rings means a sound which is repeated. Echo is also a repeat. Lament is complaint. Mind numbing is very boring. Toil is physical hard work that is done to earn a living. Actually, students, this problem was prevalent in all the homes which carried on the profession of bangle making. They did not know anything else other than bangle making, and it did not even provide them enough food to eat. The young men who had entered the traditional profession also had the same complaint. With the passing time, there was no improvement in their condition. As they had been doing hard work for countless numbers of years, they did not have any ability to do something else or to dream of it. Now next para is why not organize yourself into a cooperative? I ask a group of young men who have fallen into the vicious circle of middlemen who trapped their fathers and forefathers. Even if we get organized, we are the ones who will be hauled up by the police, beaten and dragged to jail for doing something illegal. They say there is no leader among them, no one who could help them see things differently. Their fathers are as tired as they are. Vicious is cruel or who don't have mercy. Hauled up means to dragged or taken away. When the writer finds the condition miserable in the Firozabad, then she suggests a group of people that why don't they form a cooperative. She talked to a group of young men to get out of the clutches of the cruel middleman who had trapped their elders. The men said that if they dared to do something like that, they would be dragged and beaten up by the police and sent to jail. Their acts would be termed or proved as to be unlawful. The writer felt that as they had no leader, they could not think of doing things differently or in a different way. They all were so tired, the men and their fathers, everyone. They were too much tired and they don't have any ability to go against of the middleman or to do something different from this business of bangle making. Now they talk endlessly in a spiral that moves poverty to apathy, to greed and to injustice. Listening to them, I see two distinct words. One of the family caught in a web of poverty, burdened by the stigma of caste in which they are born. The other, a vicious circle of the sahukars, the middlemen, the policemen, the keepers of law, the bureaucrats, and the politicians. Together, they have imposed the baggage on the child that he cannot put down. Before he is aware, he accepts it as naturally as his father. To do anything else would mean to dare. Spiral means a never ending continuous process or that continues for long time. Apathy is a lack of concern. Greed, intense or selfish desire for something. District is a separate. Stigma is a dishonor. Bureaucrats is government or officials. Imposed means forced upon. Baggage is a kind of burden. To dare is to do something courageous. When the writer suggested, the men complained that it was a continuous process. Their poor condition led to lack of concern for their problems. This made them greedy and led to injustice. The writer envisioned that there were two separate words. One was of such families who were stuck in poverty and the pressure of doing the traditional profession according to the caste in which they were born. And the other word is never ending cycle of money lenders, middlemen, policemen, law keepers, government officials and politicians. Both of these words had forced the young boys to follow the family traditions. The young boys get into the profession and become a part of the vicious cycle, or they get entangled into the trap of the wicked people even before they realize it. If they did anything else, it meant that they were challenging these two words. Students, now the next para is, and daring is not part of his growing up. When I sense a flash of it in Mukesh, I am cheered. I want to be a motor mechanic. He repeats, he will go to a garage and learn. But the garage is a long way from his home. I will walk. He insists. Do you also dream of flying a plane? He is suddenly silent. No, he says, staring at the ground. In his small murmur, there is an embarrassment that has not yet turned into regret. He is content to dream of cars that he sees hurtling down the streets of his town. Few aeroplanes fly over Firozabad. Hurtling down is moving around. In this particular area or in this particular region, the boys or the young children who are living, they have not dared to dream of anything. The boys had not been reared up to be bold so that they could dare to go against the system. The writer was happy to sense that Mukesh had the spark in him, or this writer had seen a glimpse of moving ahead in Mukesh. He repeated that he would be a motor mechanic. He wanted to go to a garage and learn the job. The writer asked that as the garage was at a distance from his home, Mukesh insisted that he would walk up to it. She asked him if he dreamed of flying planes also. Then the boy became silent and refused. He did not know about them as he did not know about planes anything. Not many planes flew over Firozabad as he had only seen cars moving around in Firozabad. His dream were his dreams were restricted up to them only. So students, this was the end of our chapter, and I am giving you some assignment questions related to the covered portion. Please do them and feel free to ask if you have any query. Thank you very much.